how is it that an indexed annuity works, and how you can use this to get your money to be growing and never lose money if the stock market collapses. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. So let's do a quick review of what a fixed and a variable annuity is. You see, as I mentioned in the previous video, a fixed annuity, you choose it based on a specific period of time. You can choose a fixed annuity to be 5, 7, maybe 10 years. You can deposit, say, $100,000. An insurance company will guarantee a specific interest rate. That interest rate might vary depending on interest rate environments at the time. And over the 5-year period, as an example, you'll have maybe $120,000, and then you can walk out with that money and you have no risk on the table because your money's not in the stock market. Then you have the second type of annuity that we went over, which is called a variable annuity. We know that this money is invested into usually something called sub-accounts. These are usually called mutual funds, and that means that your money inside that account is going to be going up and down depending on the performance of the stock market. So again, this actually does have some form of risk. Then you have this third type of annuity, which is what we're going to be breaking down right now. So I'm going to break this down mainly using an example. So let's say that you had $100,000 that again is sitting inside your bank account. It's not doing anything, or maybe it's sitting inside a savings account or a checking account or maybe a retirement account. And so you want to have your money growing, but you don't want to necessarily take some risk. So you can set up what's called an indexed annuity. As I mentioned previously, indexed annuities is something that you would open up through an insurance company. Again, not every insurance company actually offers indexed annuities, but you want to find a company that actually offers this form of account. Now, there's one very key component word that we all need to understand on what's called indexed annuities, and it's the word called floor. So usually the way an indexed annuity works is that you have a floor of, say, for example, 0%. So what does that mean? That means that, let's just say that this year, in year 1 of your indexed annuity, the stock market or the index that you chose collapsed by, say, 20%. That means the market dropped 10, 15, 20%. Well, you see, your account has what's called a floor of 0%. So you will not lose any money because you have your floor. You will not make any money that year, but you know that your account carries what's called a floor. So think about it like a worst case scenario. So you won't make any money that year, but you won't lose any money that year. But you see, what happens is on every single type of indexed annuity, there are usually 3 things that take place. So number 1, you can choose from something called a cap. So that means that maybe your indexed annuity might have a cap of, say, 5%. So that means that if the stock market goes up, call it 15%, then you are going to be capped at no more than 5% of the earnings. So if the market did 15%, then I'm sorry, you will only make your cap of, say, 5%.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
On top of that, they might also have something called a spread. And you see, the way a spread works, and again, you get to choose from whichever one that you want, is if, let's say, the market goes up, for example, 10%, but your account has a spread of 3%. So that means that you will lose the first 3% of earnings. So that means that if the market did 10%, then you will only make 7%. If the market did, call it 20%, then you will make 17%. Again, they subtract the first 3% off of anything that index performed in that given period of time. And then the last one is something called a participation rate. So if your participation rate is, example, 50%, that means you get to participate in 50% of the upside. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you chose the participation rate inside your indexed annuity and the market went up 10%. And you know that your account only gets to participate in 50% of the 10%. So what is 50% of 10%? That gives us 5%. Let's say that the next year it goes up 20%. Then you only get to participate in 50% of the 20%, which gives you 10%. But let's say that in year 4, the stock market collapses again, or the index that was chosen collapses again, it drops by 10%, then your account will actually make 0 because, again, your account carries what's called a floor. So think about it like an insurance where your account will not go down in value. So for people that want to have their money growing with the market without necessarily taking risk if the market drops and losing 20 or 30% of their money, this is the reason why people use indexed annuities.
Now that makes sense.
Okay guys, so this video is definitely not to say that indexed annuities or variable annuities or fixed annuities are actually better than another. You have to be very careful whenever you're choosing the type of annuity. This is the reason why you go to an advisor. An advisor's job is to help you choose the appropriate type of account based on your situation. Every single account has pros and cons. Some of them have longer term periods. Some of them make more money but have higher risk. Some of them make less money but has lower risk. You need to choose the type of annuity that fits your specific situation. This is the reason why people go to an advisor, because it's their job to help guide you in the appropriate one based on your specific situation.
Now, wasn't that some good content? Please make sure to comment down below if you had any questions on what we just went over. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. We'll see you next time.